Hello everybody, this is Hiteshwar Dutt from Motilal Nehru Public School. Because of the coronavirus spread out, schools are closed. So to use this lockdown period efficiently, we are providing you with video lectures on various topics of the text and syllabus. Today, I will be discussing the first chapter of the geography of class 8th, that is resources. So let's start our topic resources. First of all, we should discuss what is a resource. Before starting the topic further, we should know what is a resource. आगे बढ़ने से पहले हमें सबसे पहले ये पता होना चाहिए कि एक resource होता क्या है. A resource is a source or supply from which a benefit is produced and that has some utility or usage. एक resource वो चीज़ या वो वस्तु होती है जिसे हम कुछ अपने फ़ायदे के लिए इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं या जिसका कुछ इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है हमारा कोई भी काम पूरा करने के लिए. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, इफ़ वी नीड टू कंप्लीट आर एनी टास्क. फॉर एग्ज़ाम्पल, इफ़ आई नीड टू गो फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर, अगर मुझे एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाना है उसके लिए मुझे कोई ना कोई व्हीकल की ज़रूरत पड़ेगी. आई विल नीड अ व्हीकल टू गो फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर. दैट कुड बी अ पब्लिक और पर्सनल व्हीकल. सो दैट व्हीकल विल बी अ रिसोर्स फॉर मी टू गो फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अनदर. Similarly, if we talk about the chapter in the textbook of class 8, there are some examples which are provided in the starting of the chapter, like the water we drink when we are thirsty, the electricity we use in our houses, also the man-made rickshaw when we use to go from one place to another, cars, bikes, all are resources. So basically book में क्या दिया हुआ है कि हर वो चीज़ जो हम डेली रूटीन में यूज़ करते हैं, हम गो थ्रू होते हैं हर बहुत सी चीज़ों के. फॉर एग्जांपल कार्स, बाइक्स, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, वाटर. अब जब हमें प्यास लगती है हम पानी पीते हैं एंड वाटर इज़ अ नेचुरल रिसोर्स फॉर अस. Similarly, electricity, though it is a man-made resource, but it is very useful and essential to us because without electricity we cannot do most of the tasks in our homes. So from the above examples, we can also classify resources in two types, that is natural resource and human made or man made resources. Natural resources are those which we draw from the nature. जो resources हम nature से लेते हैं या जो resources हमें nature से मिलते हैं, those are natural resources. And the resources which are made by humans for their own usage are called human made resources or man made resources. Now talking further about resources, a resource can be economically valuable. अब जो resource हम इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं, it is not necessary that that resource must have some economic value, but it could have some economic value. For example, if we compare a metal with a beautiful landscape, that if we compare a metal with a beautiful landscape, metals like copper, silver, iron, gold, any aluminium, most of the metals have some economic values and we can measure them in monetary terms. But if we compare these metals with a beautiful landscape, that landscape does not have any kind of monetary value. It is satisfactory to our eyes. Beautiful landscape is also necessary to us. वो भी ज़रूरी है because those provide a mental satisfaction to us. But still, those landscapes does not have any monetary value. Talking further about the types of resources basic, as I said, broadly we can classify resources into major types. First is natural resources and second is man-made resources. So explaining natural resources, those resources which we draw or get from the mother nature are called natural resources. For example, air, water, soils, minerals, etc. हर वो रिसोर्स, हर वो चीज़ जो हमें मदर नेचर से मिलती है या हम मदर नेचर से ले सकते हैं, वो एक नेचुरल रिसोर्स है. फॉर एग्जांपल एयर, वाटर. एयर जिस हवा में हम सांस लेते हैं, द एयर वी ब्रीद इन इज़ अ नेचुरल रिसोर्स. water, the water we drink, the water we use to wash our clothes, cars, and we use to clean our homes, and water is very essential as well. So this is also a natural resource. Soils, we grow crops in soil. And minerals like iron, etc. Iron is a mineral and we get this from the mother nature as well. and many of these are free gifts by the nature and can be used directly. अब इनमें से बहुत सारे ऐसे हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल एयर एंड वाटर, वी कैन यूज देम डायरेक्टली, वी डोंट हैव एनी नीड टू परफॉर्म एनी फर्दर टास्क टू मेक देम यूजफुल. But there are some resources which need some human effort so that their best possible use can be done. Talking further about natural resources are further classified into different groups. The first group is level of development. What does that mean? Level of development means this category is of those resources which helps in the development of human standards. The standard of living of the society is increased by these resources. This category is also further divided into two parts, actual resources and potential resources. अब लेवल ऑफ डेवलपमेंट के हिसाब से अगर हम रिसोर्सेज को बांटें तो यहाँ पे भी दो टाइप्स होते हैं, एक्चुअल रिसोर्सेज एंड पोटेंशियल रिसोर्सेज. अब डेवलपमेंट की बात यहाँ पे हम क्यों कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि बहुत से रिसोर्सेज, देयर आर मेनी रिसोर्सेज विच हेल्प्स अस to increase our standard of living and to perform our many tasks. For example, coal. To produce electricity, we need coal. To move a car or a bike, we need petrol. And similarly, there is black soil, which is useful for coffee and many of the things which we drink. So similarly, basically these resources whose quantity is known and are being used in the present time. अब वो रिसोर्सेज जिनकी क्वांटिटी हमें पता है एंड वी आर यूजिंग दोज रिसोर्सेज इन द प्रेजेंट टाइम आर कॉल्ड एक्चुअल रिसोर्सेज बिकॉज दे आर एक्चुअली यूज्ड, वी आर एक्चुअली यूजिंग देम. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोल डिपॉजिट्स इन जर्मनी एंड नॉट इवन इन जर्मनी, सिर्फ जर्मनी की बात नहीं करते हैं, कोल जहाँ पर भी दुनिया में अवेलेबल है, वी यूज कोल इन मेनी डिफरेंट टास्क. इवन इन ironing the clothes we use coal, and to produce electricity, that is the basic task which we perform with the help of coal. And talking about petroleum deposits in West Asia, everybody is aware of the usage of petroleum. Petroleum is not only petrol, it consists of petrol, diesel, natural gas and many other things. And petrol, diesel are essential fuels to move our vehicles, and natural gas is also used in homes to for example LPG. Now talking about potential resources, those resources whose quantity is not known and are not being used in the present but could be used in future. अब यहाँ पे क्या कह रहा है कि वो रिसोर्सेज जो प्रेजेंट में इस्तेमाल तो नहीं हो रहे हैं और उनकी क्वांटिटी भी हमें नहीं पता है, but they could be an essential resource in the future because we are using resources at a very fast pace. So there could be a time when all the current resources which are available could be exhausted. So उनके ख़त्म हो जाने के बाद कुछ ऐसे resources हैं जिनको हम यूज़ करके हम अपने टास्क परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल द यूरेनियम फाउंड इन लद्दाख, एंड नाउ टाइम्स देर आर रिसर्चेज गोइंग ऑन. यहाँ रिसर्चेज जारी हैं जिनसे ये पता चल सकता है कि शायद फ्यूचर में यूरेनियम को एज अ फ्यूल भी इस्तेमाल किया जा सके. एंड इफ़ वी टॉक अबाउट विंड मिल्स, अब बहुत 500-600 साल पहले विंड मिल्स का इस्तेमाल नहीं होता था, हाई पावर विंड की पावर को इस्तेमाल नहीं किया जाता था. इसी वजह से अब जो है विंड की पावर का इस्तेमाल हो रहा है और उसकी वजह से हम विंड मिल्स यूज़ कर रहे हैं जिससे हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बना पा रहे हैं. अनदर कैटेगरी ऑफ नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज कैन बी ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर ओरिजिन. ओरिजिन मीन्स वो जिस तरह से बनते हैं. For example, biotic resources. Those resources which are living and can breathe are biotic resources. For example, plants and animals. अब हर वो रिसोर्स जो जीता है, जो जी रहा है, जिसमें जो सांस ले रहा है, that is a biotic natural resource. For example, plants and animals. The further type is abiotic resources. Those resources which are non-living and can't breathe are non-living resources or abiotic resources. For example, soils, rocks, minerals, etc. Talking further about resources, There is another classification for natural resources: renewable resources and non-renewable resources. As we can get an idea from the name only, renewable resources are those which can be renewed. उनको हम दोबारा बना सकते हैं और वो अपने आप मतलब वो रिसोर्सेज जिनको दोबारा बनाया जा सकता है, एंड नॉन रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज जिनको दोबारा बनाया नहीं जा सकता. Now explaining renewable resources: those resources which gets renewed or replenished quickly. Some of the renewable resources are not affected by human activities, for example solar energy and wind energy. अब वो resources जो नेचर खुद ब खुद तैयार कर लेती है दोबारा से आर कॉल्ड renewable resources. For example solar energy, the energy which we get from the sun is solar energy and there is abundance of it. It will be renewed every day, so it is a renewable resources. And if you talk about the energy of wind, wind is also a natural phenomena and the energy which we get from it is also renewable. Some of them need an extra attention because they take a lot of time to get renewed. Those are non-renewable resources. Non-renewable resources are those which have a limited stock on the earth. Once the stocks are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to be renewed. अब यहाँ पे कहने का मतलब ये है कि अब बहुत से रिसोर्सेज ऐसे भी हैं जो रिन्यू हो तो सकते हैं बट उनको रिन्यू होने में बहुत ज़्यादा लंबा समय लगता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल कोल, पेट्रोलियम एंड नेचुरल गैस. अब if we talk about coal, it takes a very long period to produce coal, and the mother nature converts anything into coal after like billions or millions of years. Also, on the basis of distribution, resources can be classified into more categories. Ubiquitous: these are the resources which are available everywhere in abundance. Ubiquitous means which is present everywhere. Those resources which are present everywhere and in abundant amount, those will not be finished anytime, and these can be used repeatedly as much as we want to. For example, air, water, etc. Localized resources: these resources are those which are available at a particular area and nowhere else, are called localized resources. वो resources जो एक particular area में ही पाए जाते हैं. For example, copper and iron. The distribution of natural resources is uneven because it depends upon number of factors like terrain, climate and altitude. अब क्योंकि पूरी दुनिया में रिसोर्सेज एक जैसे हर जगह अवेलेबल नहीं है, किसी जगह पे कुछ अवेलेबल है, किसी जगह पे कुछ अवेलेबल है, एंड दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द टेरेन, द एरिया इन विच दैट रिसोर्स इज अवेलेबल, द क्लाइमेट ऑफ दैट एरिया एंड ऑल्सो द हाइट. ऑल्टीट्यूड मीन्स हाइट, हाउ हाई is that area from the sea level. Talking further about the resources, next is human made resources. The next broad category of resources is human made resources, and the basic definition for that would be: a human made resource will be that resource which is made by a human or a man. All those resources which are made by humans are known as human resources. But sometimes a natural resource or substance can become an essential or useful resource only when they are brought to a state in which they can be consumed by us. यहाँ पे इसका क्या मतलब है कि एक नेचुरल रिसोर्स बहुत सी बार ऐसा भी होता है कि एक नेचुरल रिसोर्स तभी यूजफुल होता है जब उस पर ह्यूमन एफर्ट डाला जाए. So whenever a human puts some effort on a natural substance, that is also a human made resource. For example, iron ore can't be considered as a resource if we can't extract iron from it. अगर हमें यही नहीं पता होता कि आयरन ओर से आयरन को कैसे एक्सट्रैक्ट किया जाता है तो आयरन ओर का कोई यूज नहीं होता. We use natural resources to make buildings, bridges, roads, machinery and vehicles, etc. Human resources: humans can make the best use of natural resources with their skills, knowledge and efforts. That is why human beings are also a special resource. Because humans are the only species which can turn a natural resource into a useful thing. अब हम ही वो species हैं जो एक natural resource पे effort डाल के उसको अपने useful way में use कर सकते हैं. So that is why we are also a special resource. Education helps in making a human a valuable resource. That is a plus point of us, that if a human is educated and he can grab some skills, can learn some skills, he will be a valuable resource for the society and the world. Improving the quality of people's skills so that they are able to create more resources is called human resource development. So the chapter has a little discussion about the human resource development as well, that if we make humans learn new skills and new techniques, then we will be able to create more and more resources for us, and that will be called as human resource development. So as we have talked about resources, natural resources, man-made resources, now we should also discuss about conserving resources, because there is a big time need this in this era, that we should conserve resources. Using resources effectively and efficiently and give them time to get renewed is called resource conservation. Also, to balance the need of resources, and we should also conserve or save them for future, that is called sustainable development. अगर हम अपने रिसोर्सेज के इस्तेमाल को बैलेंस कर देते हैं, उन्हें सेव करते हैं फ्यूचर के लिए, दैट इज़ कॉल्ड सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट. बिकॉज इफ़ वी won't save our resources in the present time, then we won't be able to use them for a longer period. Also, for the future generations, we should also save resources by recycling, reducing consumption, and reusing the things. So this was the chapter, this was the first chapter of class 8th